Welcome to Hope Through the Hard, a curated coalition podcast where we talk honestly about life struggles and how to face them in healthy, hope-filled ways. In 2 Corinthians 4, Paul says, "We are hard-pressed on every side, but not crushed, perplexed, but not in despair, persecuted, but not abandoned, struck down, but not destroyed." That's what this space is about. Real conversations about the hard things in life and the hope that carries us through. You can find all of our coaching services at curatedcoalition.com. Today, we are joined with our very first in-person guest, GoPal, and he is an 18-year-old recent high school graduate who works at ADT and in the sales department, and he also works at several of our local Savannah car dealerships for content creation. So he is here to talk with us today about a medical experience that led to paralysis and how he has found hope in his life since then. But before we do that, GoPal, you get to read the kid question.
All right.
Okay.
Let's see. What's your favorite day of the week?
Oh.
Friday, because it leads up to Saturday. And Saturday is better than Friday. So Friday's like the preview, and then Saturday's like the real deal. So definitely Friday.
Okay.
You can't have Saturday without Friday.
Huh?
You can't have Saturday without Friday.
But you can't have Saturday without Sunday. And then you can't have Monday without Sunday.
True.
Okay. Okay. So my favorite day of the week is Saturday, I think, because everybody's home and Levi makes waffles and I don't have to cook, and that's my favorite. So, okay. So, GoPal, I'm going to let you tell us kind of how your story started and what happened to lead to paralysis in your life.
Mm-hmm. So I was just like every other normal kid, just going out, doing a lot of activities outside.
How old were you?
That's a better way to start out. I was 11 years old.
Okay.
It was the summer of 5th grade going into 6th grade. So we came back from Universal. I remember that. It was a great time, honestly. But then a few days later was the start of the school year for 6th grade. So really, I was fine. As I said, I was just doing everything like I used to.
Were
going
you
to karate.
nervous for school?
I was a little bit nervous.
Okay.
I really was, honestly.
Okay.
School, it was a different change because I went to the same school as my mom, where she works at. So did my little brother. So I was a little bit away for the first time. But then, I had friends that did go to the same school. I had a lot of them, actually. So they were there to support me. I was there to support them. So vice versa and everything. Really, it was like the first 3 days of school in 6th grade. And then the third day, I don't know what happened, but my stomach started hurting. Now, I've always had stomach problems before, just really my whole life. But I've also had scoliosis since I was like 4. So really the third day, that's when it all started. And then I went the 4th day, and then
What do you mean when you say like stomach problems? Like
just like stomach aches.
Oh, okay.
Just not
like
thinking anything of it.
cramps, like stomach cramps.
Yeah, a little bit.
Okay.
A little something in that.
Okay.
In that little
What would
general
be a
area.
better way to describe it, if there's a better way?
I don't really know if there's like a better way. It's hard.
Okay.
It's very hard to describe. Just like what I'm about to get to. So
Okay.
I went to the 4th day, and then the nurse told me to just go home, honestly, because I was just really, really in pain compared to the 3rd day. So I stayed home for a few days. The doctor checked up on me. He said if it's still hurting a few more days, just go to the hospital. I went to the hospital eventually. They immediately put me into surgery. So I walked in the hospital door. An hour later, I was already in the hospital bed going into surgery because of appendicitis. Now, appendicitis is when your appendix bursts, obviously, for those who don't know. Not everybody has an appendix, so it's not necessarily a vital organ inside of your body. But if it bursts, it can, I'm pretty sure it leads to death.
Yeah.
I don't really
it
remember.
can.
It's been so long.
Yeah.
Because I'm obviously 18 now. It happened when I was going into 6th grade, so 7 years ago, around that now. But it was around August 7th. August 7th was the day that my appendix was about to burst. And they didn't take any MRIs, x-rays, nothing. The dude just told me to go inside and they're going to prep me for surgery. And that was that. I woke up a few hours later. They didn't show my mom or me the appendix, which they were supposed to. They said they lost all photos of it. They said it didn't capture anything, which was kind of fishy, but we just kind of brushed it off.
You did have appendicitis and they took
Yes.
out your appendix,
Yes.
but they don't have any pictures of your appendix.
They also were supposed to show my mom it, but they never showed my mom.
Okay. That's
Um,
fishy. An
Yes.
understatement.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we just brushed it off and everything.
Okay.
And I'm over here like just trying to like smile just so I won't make my mom worried because I love my mom to death. So I'm over here just trying to like, be calm and everything, just letting her know like I'm okay because she was more scared than I was, if I'm being honest. I didn't want to go in the surgery, but it led to everything, which was definitely an experience. So August 8th, that morning I got out. August 8th, my grandma, my friend Lawson, his whole family came to see me. They were the first persons to come and visit. Um, and I was trying to act fine. I tried to keep in my mind that I'm fine. I
Did
just
your
wanted to go
stomach
back.
still hurt?
Honestly, it was just the incisions that hurt.
Okay.
It was just the incisions.
Okay.
There's still scarring. Obviously, that's not going to ever go away.
But you weren't having the same cramps that
No.
you were having at school.
Nope,
Okay.
not at all.
Okay.
So there was definitely something that they did, which was a good thing. They took it out, but it was still kind of fishy the fact that they didn't show
Okay.
photos or
Yeah. Okay.
anything. So August 8th, I'm over here just trying to chill at the house, just trying to spend time with the family because I'm out of school anyway. So might as well just spend it with the ones that you love. So now, skip a few days. I have a lot of people visiting me, showing a lot of love to me, which is great and everything. But I'm eating a turkey sandwich. I think it was August 10th or something at night. It was around 6 or 7 p.m. Did not mean to say that.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was nighttime. I remember that. I was eating with my grandma and grandpa because I'm obviously not allowed to eat hard things because, fresh out of surgery and whatnot. So I'm eating that and I feel a random, just crazy amount of pain. And it was a pain that I've never experienced before. I curled up in a ball on the black leather chair that I was sitting on.
This pain was in your stomach again?
It was in my stomach. It made me like curl up in a ball.
Okay.
I started screaming. It scared my mom to literal death. I know it scared everybody else as well too. That was around me, especially my little brother. He's 15 now, so 3 years younger than I am, and he was still in elementary school at the time. He was still a kid. He was third grade, fresh into third grade. So yeah, he was only around 8 or 9 years old. So I'm over here screaming. Eventually I stopped screaming, but it's just a genuinely like horrific pain that I experienced. I don't know how to describe it or anything. But the next morning, my mom called the doctor, my local doctor, the pediatrician. He told me to just send him back to the hospital. So I was admitted back to the hospital that morning. I think it was August 11th. And yeah, I was still trying to smile, just trying to just, keep my family comfortable and everything because I don't want them to worry about me. We already had enough worries at the time. We still do, but, we can't have another one on our shoulders. So I'm over here just trying to keep it cool. And it starts to get worse. I'm trying to keep it cool still, but it's getting worse. Eventually, we don't know what's happening, but I start feeling weaker. I'm still trying to eat and everything, so I'm retaining, the proteins and vital nutrients that your body needs. But I'm here thinking, as my own self, like, what in the living heck is happening to me? Because a week ago or 2 weeks ago, I was still doing karate. I was still running around doing freaking flips on the trampoline and stuff like that, playing outside with my dogs.
You had just been at Universal, and
I'd
so
just
you
been
were
at Universal.
so you're just doing fun, normal kid things.
Just typical stuff.
Okay, and so you had to go back to the hospital, and what did they say?
So the first time was when August 7th. It was honestly, I forgot to leave out this part. They were supposed to keep me in for at least 2 to 3 days. They only kept me for 12 hours. So literally that same morning or the morning after the surgery, I got, discharged from the hospital.
Yeah.
Because they thought I was fine because I was really just trying to keep it cool. I'm like, I don't want my mom to worry or anything. The second time, that's where it led up to, I think, 8 more days in the same hospital. So it went from August 11th through, I'm pretty sure what I remember, the 19th. And this is where it got really bad.
And this is after the turkey sandwich.
This is
Okay.
after the turkey sandwich.
Okay.
Let's call it that. I can't move. So I'm at the point where I'm like, what do I do? I'm having pediatricians come and see me. I'm having a lot of friends and family see me. One of the main ones, he's in the room right now, Jackson, one of my best friends in the whole world. He came every single day after school until like pretty much nighttime, even though they have a crazy busy schedule. I have so many friends that I still am in contact with, obviously, but just thinking about it, like, I did not believe in God. I had no belief at all. I'm just over here basically feeling hopeless. But I have pastors coming in. I have tons of people coming in and praying for me, but I didn't know what to pray for or who to pray to. So I get discharged because they honestly just gave me the blank answer. They don't know what to do.
But you couldn't walk at this point?
It was August 19th. I could not move.
You could not move or you could not walk? Like you couldn't move your arms even?
I could move my arms, but it was at the very slightest.
Okay.
Like
so
I was
like
weak
when
on
they
another
discharged you, they picked you up and they sat you down in a wheelchair and carried you out?
Yes.
What?
Yes. So I was being wheeled everywhere. I was being
like you couldn't even
everywhere.
Like push the wheelchair.
No. I'm so serious.
Okay.
It was depressing on another level.
Yeah.
For an 11-year-old boy.
Yeah, but you had friends still coming to visit you in the hospital.
No, every single day.
Okay.
All day. Nonstop. It could be like during morning, nighttime. My mom's friends, obviously. My brother's friends even. But yeah, then I'm home for a few more days. Then I see a few other doctors. I get readmitted around the end of August of 2018. This is to a different hospital because the hospital that didn't know what to do with me basically just, let me go. So I go to a different hospital to see a different opinion.
Was your situation worse or did it stay the same?
It was just the same.
Same.
Okay. I was just like a vegetable. I was a paperweight.
Eat?
I could eat.
Okay. Were you eating?
I was.
Okay.
I was eating.
Okay.
I liked food.
Okay.
I liked food a lot.
Okay.
I really did.
Okay. So you were eating, but that was pretty much it. Like that was all you were able to do.
Yeah. I was being fed. Let's say that. I was being fed, not me eating.
Okay. Okay.
I couldn't walk to the bathroom. I couldn't get up by myself. It took me 4 years to be able to really get up by myself out of my bed. So 2018 to 2022, that was really 2022 was the point where I learned how to get up out of my bed. So it took nearly 4 years. I was still doing stuff in that time period after let me get to that part, honestly.
Okay.
So end of August, I'm at a different hospital just to see a different opinion because really it's unexplainable. I couldn't explain it. I was like, what the heck is going on and everything. Again, Jackson, his family were coming every single day to see me in that hospital too. Still have pictures somewhere deep down in my mom's phone. We have pictures of everybody just coming in every single day. I mean, I think this hospital was nicer. I feel like the other one was a little bit forceful, just trying to push me to walk. It kind of felt abusive in a way, but really they also didn't know what to say. They gave me so much medicine because they didn't know what the heck was wrong with me. To the point, I'm not gonna lie, I did get a little bit high on medicine. I started to. It's a funny turn point because I literally started shooting aliens in the mirror with the TV remote.
You were more than a little high on medicine at that point, GoPal.
Yeah, they didn't know what to do with me.
Okay, so you were taken to another hospital and you saw other pediatricians, I assume other specialists. Did they have any answers for you?
They didn't know what to say.
Okay.
This hospital did diagnose me with something called conversion disorder, which is basically all in all, it's a fancier word of saying it's all in your head.
Okay.
Which is another word of saying they don't know what the heck.
How does that make you feel to be told it was all in your head?
Just confused.
Okay.
Because I wanted to do karate more than anything. I don't do it anymore, but at the time when I was 11 years old, that was my life. That was literally something I wanted to do every single day, and I made a commitment to push harder every single day on that. So I'm over here wanting to go back to it. I eventually did after I got out, close to the end of August, maybe. I got out. I visited the karate studio that I did. They helped me lift up my arms and everything to punch. I have videos still. I was looking at it earlier. I'm not gonna lie. And it's just the amount of support that people had while I was feeling literally at the very, very, very pits of rock bottom. It's unexplainable for a 6th grader to even feel that.
And then to be told it's all in your head.
Yeah.
And okay. And so it took you 4 years to be able to walk again. To be
able to fully 100% function.
Okay. And so, but you were still trying. You were still going, attempting to go into the karate studio people were coming to visit you.
Hmm.
What else happened in all of that?
Really, like, my mom took off of work, bless her soul. She took off of work for, I don't know how long it was. It was months, just taking off of work. Months of her entire school just giving me I'm not joking, hundreds of just cards, and she has them somewhere. I know she keeps everything. So the amount of like support and everything was great. But inside, I'm just still like, just thinking like, is this the end? And I was obviously wondering like, who am I like trying to, ask for help for? Because my mom was helping me and everything. I knew everybody was helping me. I was slowly getting better. It was the most slight bit of progress every single day, but eventually, it 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 got better. I mean, after 4 years, fully to 100%. But everything's a process.
Yeah.
So you just gotta trust it. I didn't know who I was trusting, because I didn't believe in the Lord at the time, but I was still trusting, and I had my mother, my brother, my grandpa, my late grandpa, even my grandma, and of course all my friends to obviously support me. They're helping me do things. Like eventually, they helped me ride my bike. When I was paralyzed, I fell, but I got like maybe 20 feet, and that's about it. But I mean,
It was something,
it,
right?
it made me happy.
Yeah, sure.
It made me happy because, like, from not being, from being a vegetable to, like, at least 20 feet of happiness on a bicycle it's kind of, I guess you could say, fun. It hurt, but it was fun.
Okay. So, what would you say was the hardest part about learning to walk again?
The hardest part was trusting that I could walk again, because I genuinely thought I was done for. I literally thought it was a hopeless pit. And that's not something an 11-year-old should think of ever in their life.
Yeah.
They're not even a teenager yet. They're 13. They're not even 13 yet.
Yeah. So, when you were learning to walk, trusting yourself was hard.
Mm-hmm.
It sounds like you had a really good support system. Did you ever struggle with trusting other people?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Because I eventually went back to school after, I think, 2 months. So in the period of the end of August, beginning of September-ish, when I got released from the third hospital. So in total, really, I was in the hospital for I think 3 weeks or 21 days altogether. But I was doing, it's called homebound teaching.
Mm-hmm.
So this dude, he actually came to my graduation recently, because I bless God for this. He got me in contact with him while I was working at my old job. So I got his number and invited him to my graduation.
That's cool.
Yeah. So he was coming to me because I physically could not go to school, but people started wheeling me around in school. My friends, because of the amount of crazy support that I had. And up until around October-ish, I was trying to, I guess, relive my old life. I was attempting to go to karate, even though I was just sitting there watching. I still was there, I guess. And it was just a struggle. It really was.
Were other kids mean to you? Did that break your trust in them? Or was it just trusting that anyone could help you?
And that's another thing. When I got back to school, everybody knew me as the kid who did karate. The kid who was just because we used to do performances
Would you
at
say
school
your
for advertising.
identity was taken from you?
Yes.
Okay.
Karate was basically my only thing going for me at the time. I didn't do anything else except what was it, Legos, and that was about it. It was karate and Legos.
I've never met this version of you, but I feel like he was a fun dude. Okay. I feel like I might be raising that kid.
It was a bubbly kid to just straight up depressed.
Yeah.
Because what else could I do at the time? Because I'm a literal vegetable, and I knew people were behind the scenes making fun. I obviously knew it. And that's, I think, what hurts more is that people would say stuff behind your back than rather to your face. I know people still do it. My brother tells me stories all the time, not going to lie, of people saying, yo, wasn't he crippled? I'm like, oh gosh.
Does that word, do you have a hard time hearing that?
What, the word crippled?
Yeah.
No, I say it.
Okay.
I was.
Okay. But does it offend you that people say that about you?
I mean, there's something that I like to I like to prove to people that you're something other than your past traumatic
Yeah.
experiences. There's always progress being made every day, and I stand by that.
Yeah.
So 4 years, it took a long time for me to fully be 100%. So I was still making progress even when it felt like I wasn't. And it's a straight blessing that I'm even able to do a backflip again. um, but I'm coming close to Halloween. My brother, I barely made it halfway, like a few blocks down. My brother was the one who held me up the entire time, like almost as if he was carrying me on my back. I looked at the video earlier. I was like, holy crap.
At Halloween that year? Is that
Yeah.
what you're saying?
Yeah, I went trick or treating
Aw.
somehow. So he basically carried me on his back the whole time.
That's really sweet.
Yeah.
Your brother's ornery, but
He
that's
was
really sweet.
that was a third grade child, 8 years old.
That's sweet.
Now it's probably like 120 pounds or something. That's not something an 8-year-old should be able to carry, but he tried.
Superman. He gave it a shot.
My legs eventually like just couldn't even take trying anymore. But I was slowly making progress. I was slowly being able to like creep my hands like this, so my fingers were able to lead to like a spoon. I had to lean my neck down because I couldn't keep my head up at first. Like my head would just fall back like that. Still being wheeled around in school. Then I don't know what happened on this day in November 24th, in the mid-afternoon. My mom told me once she got me out of bed, because I obviously couldn't get out of bed, she told me to flip around my walker. I didn't like the walker. I hated it with a passion, actually. That walker was something I just despised of. I just wanted to do it by myself, but I couldn't, and that was the part that hurt the most. She told me to flip it around and try walking. So instead of the walker being like facing me, it's an arch like this. It basically faced like a U, I guess, facing you. So if I fall backwards, then I just literally fall on the walker. And worst case scenario, I'd bonk my head, but it weighs like 5 pounds, so who cares? So I flip it around. I did fall a few times, but my mom mainly told me to keep trying. My like grandpa kept telling me to try. My brother kept telling me to try. So I'm like, okay, I'm gonna keep trying. And it really hurt. I wanted to cry, but I know I had to prove to myself that this is not gonna be me forever. And I was slowly making progress. And I could see it. It didn't feel like it in my heart, but I could see there was some progress being made. So this was basically the first step into, I guess, believing that there was some sort of blessing behind this. And
that was from the end of August or mid-August all the way to November 24th.
November 24th was the day that
you tried.
I took one step from this to this. And then I completely toppled on the floor, but I still picked up my foot physically by myself without anybody having to like put their feet under me or me being on top of somebody's shoes and them walking me to somewhere, or them literally carrying me by the arms like this, just everywhere, or being wheeled everywhere. Yeah. This was the first time I did this motion. I still fell, but I still did it. And it was a day that I cried. My mom cried so much. It was
because it didn't feel hopeless anymore. Like you felt like maybe there was a glimmer that you could replicate it the next day.
Something happened in that day and I don't know what it is. And I look back at it and I'm like, that was God.
Yeah.
I truly believe that was God. Like, and relating to this one passage in...
yeah, you want me to read it for you?
Yeah, go ahead and read it.
All right, so we're reading from this, and when I asked you, like, what is your, like, what verse would summarize your story? You said, which I think is really cool, the story of when Jesus healed the paralytic, and he had 4 friends that lowered him down through the roof. So I'm going to read just a couple of your favorite parts from that. All right. So this is Luke chapter 5, verse 18. And it says, "And behold, some men were bringing on a bed a man who was paralyzed, and they were seeking to bring him in and lay him before Jesus. But finding no way to bring him in because of the crowd, they went up on the roof and let him down in his bed." So that's how you felt?
I mean, I didn't believe in God back then. I had no beliefs, as I said. But
yeah,
looking back at it, that story, I was watching The Chosen with my mom one day, and I saw that scene. I was like, wait a freaking minute. I'm like what? Because literally my friends were carrying me up. My family was carrying me up. Bless all of them. And it was on November 24th. I'm like what? because I knew something happened. And then eventually it started getting better. I mean, I was still not walking by myself, but I was starting to move like a lot more. It was like from this little of progress to like that in just 1 hour of just trying and failing. But that's literally life. Just like, obviously everybody knows. You just keep failing and then eventually you'll see some sort of progress. And it might be super slow, but that's why faith is so important, because you got to trust that there is a long shot at something and that you have to keep on making progress and working and working and working. And eventually you will see that. I was still like, I guess you could say, a vegetable. I still had my grades down the drain because I couldn't do school, obviously. I was being still wheeled around in school for, let's say it's November, start of December. I was still being wheeled in school up until like February of that year. So basically the end of the school year. And my puppy passed away like a few days after I started walking. So I was starting to maybe believe like maybe there is a God. Yeah. But then she passed away, and that has affected me more than any other death in my entire life, which is saying something. But at that point I was like, I guess I was talking to God for the first time, I think, in my entire life. I'm like, why did this have to happen to her at 1 year old? So I'm over here struggling again. I don't want to do anything. I just want to sit in bed, which is basically what I've been doing for 4 months already at this point. But I had to keep going. And it was my faithful friends around me when I still had no hope. My faithful family that just had to keep pushing for me even when I didn't want to. And I guess you could say moral of the story is God is the rock.
Yeah.
And I was at the very bottom.
So the next verse that you kind of hit was the end of verse 24. And it said, and he, Jesus, said to the man who was paralyzed, I say to you, rise, pick up your bed, and go home. And what was that like when you were able to be mobile again? I mean, I know it took a really long time.
Yeah.
What was it like when you were able to be mobile?
So I obviously still had side effects. Like my brain was messed. I don't know what happened. Nobody knows what happened to my brain, even the hospital. They can't explain it. I have a hard time reading like paragraphs. I can't focus on one single word. It's called double vision. I still have that to this day.
Is that double vision what turns a double-digit speed limit into a 4-digit speed limit for you?
4 digits? 4 digits?
Is that how that works?
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
Sure.
Just curious.
Sure.
That speed limit sign that says 50 turns into 5,000 and you're gone?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I can't keep up with this feeling.
I'm just joking. You have a really fabulous Instagram account where you chronicle your experience with cars. And it's really just a lot of really high numbers on the speedometer, and it freaks me out every time one of my kids gets in the car with you. I'm like, go, Paul, remember, go slow. But now I know why you have double vision, so we're good. Okay, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Where was I? That was funny.
You were talking about what it was like when you were finally able to be mobile again.
I mean, yeah, it's a good feeling. Obviously, I mean, what else do I say to that? It was a great feeling. I was starting to do things again. I lost a lot of friends, but I kept a good bit.
You're still friends with a lot of the same guys who came to
Jackson.
visit you in the hospital. Well, you mentioned Jackson.
Jackson, Xavier.
Yeah.
A lot of them. That's how you know they're friends.
They're real friends. Yeah, that's true.
Proverbs 17:17.
Go for it. Do you know it?
Yes, I know it.
Okay, then say it.
A friend loves at all times, but a brother is born for adversity.
There you go. There you go. Okay, and so you do have some really great friends who have stuck by you.
Yeah.
But I can imagine that the process of learning to be mobile again wasn't easy. And so can you talk for just a second about the mental part of that? Like, because the doctors were saying, oh, it's all in your head.
Mm-hmm.
And obviously that didn't feel true for you. It felt like medical gaslighting, I'm sure.
Oh, yeah.
And
it made everybody furious.
Yeah. And
my family especially.
Right. But I mean, it sounds like there was a bit of a component of I have to just choose today to try this thing that's really hard again, and I'm going to land on my face and it's going to suck, but I'm going to do it again. So talk about just the mental part of choosing every day to try again. And then how did your friends fit into that? How did your support system fit into that?
Well, speaking of every day, I was doing physical therapy every day. So it felt like another demotivation just on my shoulders because I couldn't pick up a pencil. I couldn't really do anything. I actually did draw a few drawings while I was like, part of the bed at this point. Um, I had like a little lap desk. My little brother helped me. At this point, I was getting into cars because something happened with my head, and I hated cars before, so I started to draw like cars. I had to do it like this, and like slowly, inch my way to draw it. But I had so much time on my hands. What else would I be able to do?
Yeah.
So my friends would come and visit me like every day, come to my house, just try to help me. And this is how you tell the difference between real and fake friends, obviously, because who would stick around with a vegetable? Like, let's be honest. You can't do anything with a person, like, I guess you can say that can't do anything in the first place.
You mean you weren't a good time?
I didn't, essentially, yeah.
You were just laying there and you're like,
I
why
was
would
just there.
anybody want to hang out with me? Because I'm not a lot of fun. Is that what you're saying?
Basically.
Okay.
Basically.
I can't imagine that your friend said that.
I know people did, but they weren't my friends.
Right. Right.
So there's that.
Okay. You have anything else?
Really, no, it didn't take me but another near almost death experience to, I guess you could say, finally find God. But I guess different episode.
So I want to end on this. Verse 25 says, "In amazement seized them all. They glorified God and were filled with awe, saying, 'We have seen extraordinary things today.'" And so it sounds like your story was in fact extraordinary. What would you say was the most extraordinary part of that part of your story?
Well, the whole thing feels extraordinary because nobody deserves to, one, have life. It's a gift. Like, we don't deserve it in the first place because we're all sinners. Two, I think it's just a gift that I can even walk again when I had no hope. I had zero hope that I was ever going to be able to do anything ever again. So if anything, it's a gift, rather a privilege. It's a privilege to be able to just walk, run, jump, drive
Fast.
speed limit, 5 over. 5 over always.
Yeah. Not buying the 5 over always. But that's something that's fabulous, is being able to identify, I think, that
The gift is fabulous.
Yeah.
The gift of really just, I guess, being able to walk when you had no hope. And I had no hope in God at all.
Yeah.
I didn't know who I was talking to, but I was just asking why. Like, just 3 letters, why. That's it. Like,
what do you think the why is then? Why did he give you that experience, do you think, and then the restoration that you've had since then?
make me stronger.
For what?
Because you can either look at it as one way that, oh, you can play the victim card. Oh yeah, I wasn't able to walk. Oh, I was paralyzed before. Who cares? At the end of the day, who really cares? That was your old self. Through God, you're reborn. You got to keep making progress and stop playing the victim card. Just keep pushing. And I didn't want to push, but I still did, mainly because of the people around me. And that's really what brought me up. Obviously, God brought me up too.
Yeah. So
At the time, I didn't realize that.
Yeah. One of the stories that we heard today in our prayer time at church was Ezekiel 37 and the dry bones coming back to life and coming back to be part of God's army and to give glory to him. Do you resonate with that at all? Like, does that feel like you said a vegetable, but you were completely incapacitated and you've been given a new chance. And I think, from the outside looking in, it seems like you're using that to glorify God.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
Like I used to do karate before. Obviously, that was my whole life. Like the gym is something I strive for everybody to do, because your body is a temple of God and you need to be taking care of it. Your body is a gift. You don't deserve to walk. You don't deserve to be able to do this. Lift your arm up, lift your right hand up. Or you don't deserve to be able to like do anything. So you're given this privilege. So why would you waste it? Especially because not everybody can walk, and I've experienced that. So all in all, your body's a temple of God.
That's right.
And you need to glorify it.
Well, thank you so much for joining us for today's conversation. GoPal, thank you for coming and sharing your story.
My pleasure.
My hope is that he worked at Chick-fil-A. My hope is that you leave here reminded that whatever you're facing, you're not crushed, you're not abandoned, and you're not destroyed. That's the promise of 2 Corinthians 4:8-9, and the heartbeat of hope through the hard. Reminder that you can visit curatedcoalition.com for all of our coaching services, and we'll see you next time.